Hello and welcome back to December Daily. In this video I'm sort of squishing together day 8 and day 9 because they were slightly shorter videos and I thought I might as well squish them together. So this is starting off with day 8. So I'm using one of my own tree paintings with my number drawn on top of it for the number today. And I've got quite a few photos to go on that I want to use, and I kind of felt like that left side was all sort of squarey, so I figured I'd sort of line them all up in a sort of blocky pattern on the left, whereas on the right hand side I wanted to kind of see a bit of that cute little snowman peeping through, so I angled the photos. So our advent calendar activity today was to decorate the hallway. We have a bay window in the hallway, near the front door. And it sort of has double windows, so there's a space in between, like the bay sticking out window and the inside second layer of windows. And it's kind of like a giant shadow box, I guess you'd call it. So I thought what we could do is we could hang up lights in there, hang up garlands and banners, and put like pretend snow at the bottom, which is basically wadding, fabric wadding, and kind of have fun decorating that on the 8th. So that's what we did. My son really loved it, so that was good. We used solar powered lights. So if we have a really sunny day, the lights last for like a good 3 or 4 hours in the evening, which is really nice, and we don't have to use like electricity to run them. But if it's a gloomy day, they don't go on for too long, but it's just enough to make it sort of sparkly and pretty for a little bit in the evening. And on the right, I've just got my the top photos showing us playing. We played Michael Bublé at Christmas. Never listen to him normally, but at Christmas we do. I think he does the Christmas songs really nicely, so we listen to him. And I had my diffuser on, and I roasted a chicken leg today. Can't get whole chickens here, so the closest thing, the largest sort of boned joint of chicken, is a big chicken thigh leg, like quite a large chunk. So I occasionally roast those with just a bit of butter and rosemary. So we did that on that day. And it kind of felt Christmassy, so I thought I'll shove it in the December Daily. And I'm just sticking some Dysol tape on now. It's not very sticky. I think I'm going to have to give up on the cheap masking tapes, because they're just so frustrating. The way you put them down, then you come back 10 minutes later and they're all peeling up. It's a shame, but... And that bottom picture is my son fell asleep on the sofa. He rarely falls asleep from exhaustion, but he did that day because he had such fun. Because we had friends around this day, and when there's people around, he's so excited. He loves having friends around. Refuses to nap, and then by the evening he can't stay awake, and he actually fell asleep whilst watching Raymond Briggs' animated version of his Father Christmas book. So that was quite sweet. So I finished watching it and then I heaved him into bed because he's quite heavy now. Okay, so this is me going a bit crazy again with my Delita Neo Pico 3 pen. I suppose I chose this colour because it's a sort of very dark browny maroony red, when I thought that kind of matched the Dysol washi tape. Just doing a pen test there to check that it wasn't going through to the other side too much. And it was, so I didn't do much on that side. So in the end I just sort of scribbled a bit on it and then just did my journaling in all the gaps. Okay, so that's it for day 8. So we'll move straight on to day 9. So day 9 I'm using one of my tree numbers again. And day 9 was a happy mail day. I was so happy and so touched by some mail I received today. Well, I actually received it a couple of days previously, but I didn't open it until on the 9th because we've been so busy. But I got some really nice mail from a friend. You're probably watching, so hello. You know who you are. And she sent us lots of lovely little treats and an advent calendar. one of those nice little advent calendars that you hang up with little paper bags, and inside each one was a little treat for me and my son, so that was really nice. So I'm just mounting the photos for the day on, I just put it on what they call journaling card, just to sort of make them stand out from that vintage paper on the left. And I did notice that top photo's upside down, so don't worry. I was just thinking at this point, I was thinking, do I make them flap up so that you can see the drawings underneath, or just stick them down? I think in the end, just stick them down. I kind of angled them a bit so that you could still see the cute little, the kitty in the stocking, and the little mouse on the bell. Just working out if we're going to put stickers on. I went for red because I thought maybe I could use my other red Daiso washi tape. But I think I decided not to after all, so. We had a quieter day today because we had such excitement the previous day. And we just went to the park and burned off a bit of energy that way. And then when we came home, we had great fun opening the first 9 days of the advent calendar all at once. So a lot of chocolate was eaten. So here I am, I'm using my Tombow brush pen to add a bit of colour on the right hand side because it looked a bit plain, and my aquash water brush to kind of blend it out. Which is really satisfying to do. So I've got a bit of red on the left and the right now. I think the reason I'm struggling so much with that vintage paper on the left is it's not just the fact that it's thin, it doesn't take paints very well, is the sort of the blue tones, because I suppose a lot of my other ephemera that I'm going to use for December Daily is sort of reddy, greeny, Christmassy, not very blue. So I think I struggle with that as well, because as soon as you start putting red and green on it, you end up with red, green and blue, and I don't know, it all becomes a bit too much. So here I am again thinking, oh, maybe I should colour the pieces in. Does it work? I don't know. Not really. Struggling. Just going around these again to sort of make them stand out with watercolour pencil. Doodling. And then I think the lines are too harsh, so I blend them out with my water brush, which I much prefer, even though it makes the paper crinkle. But I guess it adds texture, you know, this is a junk journal, and this is what I've got to sort of let go of. I'm a sort of a neat person. I like to have everything neat, and like when I'm doing the blobby paint on the right, that's kind of me going against my grain quite a lot. I would do like a pattern or something a bit more structured. So to do like the splashing paint down and doing blobs and patterns of, not patterns, but you know, splashes of paint is really difficult for me. I have to sort of force myself to do it. But it's good, because it's good to be doing things that you don't normally do, you wouldn't normally do. So in one of the advent calendar bags was a little heart-shaped stamp. So I used that one on this page, which was fun. And I also got a washi sample, which was Christmassy. So I'm tearing up teeny pieces of it here to stick down, to sort of add a bit of texture into the background. So just adding the little scraps of washi onto the right hand side there. And I thought I'd bring in my little red house die cut. I think I found that the Tombow red was a bit too sort of neon-y, bright, harsh. So I'm trying to tone it down by using a minty greeny, chalky greeny stamp pad. Trying to make it less sort of bright and in your face. And then of course I get carried away. So you can see now, for me, I'm looking at that and thinking the red and the green is nice, but then I've got that blue on the left and it's a bit too much. Anyway, off I go with the stamp pad on the left-hand side. And it looks okay. All right, stop now, Emily. Don't do any more. Cup of tea, bit of tea. Oh, well done. I didn't do that much more. Looks like all I did was just draw some little envelopes on, because it was a happy mail day. Did a bit of doodling and a bit of journaling. So I didn't do too much more. So that's good. All right, so that is day 9. I hope you enjoyed watching it, and I hope to see you again for day 10. Bye-bye.